welcome back. Part two. We've split this session up into a couple of sessions. We may even do a third one just to keep it short for people. You might be more interested in the first part that we did, which was about more about the policy itself. In this one, what we're going to do is we're going to actually go into what Imperial claims can do. We're going to show you some real life examples of some of the experience that what Dav's come across with different claims, fire and flooding and this sort of things.
Ben, thank you ever so much. So this one is just to look at one example, and this is a first floor flat which had a fire as a result of a cannabis farm. You can see there the roof's gone on it.
Yeah.
It was quite bad. This is the very first visit to the property with the landlord. Now just imagine being in the landlord's shoes, going into your property. He used to live here as well.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a shock to the system, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst we're looking at the damage, I'd also ask you to look at the condition inside the property as well, beyond the damage, because we'll make reference to the condition of the property when we're looking at the reinstatement works that our sister company carried out at this property. And the service that we provide here is we provide a claims handling service. So we manage the entire claim on behalf of the landlord, meeting the loss adjuster, answering their abundance of questions, and then also dealing with the surveyor, our surveyor dealing with their surveyor as well. Here in the kitchen, for example, you'll see that there's the boiler's there in its corner, not boxed in or anything and stuff. So we're looking at this in two parts. We're looking at the extent of the damage that's been caused by the fire. And then we're also looking at the condition of the property, because what we'll show you is what we do when we carry out the reinstatement works. And in here, basically, the tenants had moved in, supplied all of the information as they do, and then basically took over and created a cannabis farm. They can create a real danger to life as well. I mean, look at the way that the electricity can sit behind that door there, loads of cables.
Yeah, it's not a good install.
No, to say the least. But what they've done there, the cables from them sockets, they're going up in the loft. So now we're going onto the outside. You can see the slates and everything. This is all the debris. This all needs to be cleared. The neighbours and everything are affected. Their bins couldn't be taken out and stuff.
So this is just what come down when the roof went. It just all went, when the fire was blazing.
That's it. Now, obviously, this is the first floor flat. This is the owner of the first floor flat. The water from the fire brigade, then the water that'll get in there because the roof's exposed and everything comes downstairs. So he's got a responsibility there to the downstairs landlord, and it was tenanted at the time downstairs. And you can see there the sheer extent of the damage. Now, just imagine that you end up in a position where you find when this has happened that you don't actually have an insurance policy. Now, that obviously would be awful. And that's why we say, look, don't look at putting your policy paperwork away. Keep it to hand and keep checking it on a regular basis as well, just to make sure that it continues to remain pertinent. If you found at this point that you don't have an insurance policy or a valid insurance policy in play, then you become responsible personally then, subject to the property being purchased in your own name, which most properties are. Then you've got the flat roof there, the pitch roof, which is exposed, which lets water in, which is impacting the ground floor flat. You've got tenants downstairs with their contents being damaged, that kind of stuff as well. The ramifications of not having an insurance policy can be way beyond the £100 and odd, £200 a year that you have to pay just to cover yourself against such a disaster. Now, our service then, so this is the same property, and we've upgraded the front door from a UPVC door to a composite door there. Worked with the landlord in terms of the finish, the colours, the flooring, as standard. The electrics are upgraded. So as you would expect in this day and age, a lot more sockets, LED bulbs. The electrician has installed hardwired smoke detectors, heat detectors, and CO2 detectors, as a landlord needs in this day and age. There's the kitchen, the boiler, it would go in that cupboard, and it's getting boxed in as well. The boiler comes with a 7-year parts and labour warranty. The toilet didn't have a sink in it, but you'll see as this job goes on, before it gets finished, of course, a sink gets added to the toilet as well. It's all very, very modern, working hand in hand with the landlord, looking at this property. He wasn't certain whether he was going to, as he had done previously, have one tenant in, or maybe let the property out on a room-by-room basis, which works very well in such an area where there's the students. So heat detectors, smoke detectors, etc. were installed on the basis that each room might be let out on a room-by-room basis.
So fully modernised to the landlord's specification, pretty much.
Absolutely, 100%, working very much hand in hand. The loss adjusters weren't wanting to pay for the new doors and the windows. They felt that the existing were actually okay, which was absolutely not the case. The property had been empty, left exposed to the weather for about a year because of the loss adjusters and their shenanigans. The loss adjusters' own surveyor had actually included the doors and the windows in their schedule, but for some unknown reason, the loss adjuster was constantly excluding the doors and the windows. It took us 2 to 3 months to battle that particular issue amongst many others. As I say, it took the loss adjuster about a year for handling this claim and dealing with the tons of questions that they had.
So that's where it's probably key to be using a guy like yourself with a loss assessor, because otherwise you'd be by yourself trying to battle with the insurance company, and they're pretty good at trying to get out of things, I would imagine.
Well, seriously, I would concur. One, because it's our service, but time and time again, we see this kind of thing. People constantly keep telling us that they actually feel like they're the criminals. So somebody in here has carried out criminal activity, the cannabis farm, but then the questions that get posed, you just won't believe. But this is the finished product here.
So there we go. Pretty much a brand new place. And so with that guy used your service, Dav, how much did it cost him to actually use you?
Not a single penny at all from his own pocket. Right. We make a charge for the claims handling side of things. Our sister company, the maintenance company that carried out all of that work, they pay that fee to us. The landlord doesn't pay anything, and the insurance excess that the landlord had to pay, that also didn't need to be paid. That was covered by the builder as well. The entire service from start to finish, and it took ever so long as well, about a year or something, getting the loss adjusters sorted out on this. We also had to call in a surveyor as well to revalue the property, because there was a suggestion at one point that our client was underinsured. All of that technical expertise cost the landlord absolutely nothing.
I would imagine as well that it would have saved him a lot of time, because from the way that's coming across, you would have been dealing with that rather than him directly. Yeah,
absolutely, Ben. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine anything worse than trying to handle all this. You know, the amount of work that is required trying to do this by yourself would be pretty much a crazy thing to try and do, and it's something I personally wouldn't want to do. You know, I've got better things to be doing with my time than this. So it'd be a great reason to use a loss assessor like yourself. And I know we spoke a little bit earlier. Did you have some short-term offer that you were offering people to help them with their insurance?
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, just before that offer, you've just reminded us something that I had forgotten. The ground floor landlord, he chose to go with the insurance company. He was a lovely guy. His flat, he had tenants at the time of the incident upstairs. They shortly left afterwards. They could not live in the property. He went with the loss adjuster and their insurance company and their contractors for about nearly a year. And then he eventually he came to us. At the point that he came to us, something like about 9-10 months later, our claim upstairs had been sorted, finished. The flat was out for being rented. The claim upstairs, I do believe, was £120,000 in total. The landlord downstairs, when he came to us, seriously was only offered about £5,500.
Oh,
So
yeah. So it's a bit of a kick in the
yeah. Seriously, we've got a blog around that as well. Tale of Two Landlords is what it's called. And the water from the flat upstairs, when it was exposed for about a year, no roof, there was a tarpaulin. Unfortunately, it was only meant to be a temporary measure, so water started coming through. All of that would come through. It'd come through the first floor flat and then settle down into the ground floor flat. And despite that, £5,500. And he was such a lovely guy, but effectively, they weren't looking after his interests at all.
Yeah.
And he genuinely got extremely frustrated. And that is the truth. Our landlord upstairs went with us, that got done. The landlord downstairs, he genuinely did not get sorted by the insurance company. Sorry, Ben, you said the offer.
Yeah.
We're happy to look at reviewing a client's insurance documents to make sure that they're fit for purpose. We don't sell insurance policies. We're not insurance brokers. People obviously buy from insurance brokers or can buy online. We're happy to review that for a handful of clients. It's a short-term offer is this, in the hope that it would help. We're here for everything from the start, when you buy a policy through the brokers, through to the end when a claim happens. We're not just here for an insurance claim. We're happy to assist. In the event that something does go wrong, we'd rather see clients, people that have insurance policies, have the right product, fit for purpose, so that when you look at making a claim, it absolutely works for you.
Yeah, and thanks, Dav, for the information. It's been a good, informative session, and we'd like to hear some feedback as well from people out there watching the video. You can come to my website, benmannion.com, or email me, contact@benmannion.com, or also, if you want to take Dav up on the offer, he's done that for me, and it's a great offer. It really saves you reviewing all them documents like that. He can just give you a quick, informative a summary of what you're actually insured for and point out to you key things that you might not be insured for. So we look forward to hearing your feedback on that and how we can improve. And if you want any more information, maybe we can do some more sessions and give people what they need, some more education and information about the insurance business, buy-to-let property investors, and people just for their own personal homes, because as you know, your home is probably most people's biggest investment, and it can be most people's biggest liability if something like this happens, you know. So thanks for joining us, and thanks again, Dav, and look forward to your feedback. Thanks very much.